Throughout the summer months, we see monarch butterflies in our area all the time. They weigh only about half a gram and they fly 10,000 feet high. That's an altitude of a small plane. But around this time of the year, in late September, October, they begin their 2,500-mile journey to central Mexico, where they stay until February, when they begin their flight back to be here by June. But actually, it is not really them who are coming back. From October to June is 9 months, and the lifespan of one monarch butterfly is 1.5 or 2 months. So when we see butterflies back, it is really their 5th generation, the grandchildren of their children's grandchildren. And the most interesting thing is that they invariably fly along the same path and return to exactly the same places where their ancestors lived with perfect precision. Science doesn't know how these butterflies can transmit this information to their descendants, but it is obvious they somehow have a deeply seated multi-generational memory. That is, each butterfly is not just an individual in itself, but a part of a system which generations, grandfathers and grandchildren depend on. If one of them suddenly thinks, it's a free world, I can fly wherever I want in open skies, a system disruption will occur and all generations will be affected in the future. If one of them decides that it likes a neighboring field better, the system will be distorted forever. This is truly a butterfly effect, which means that one butterfly lives a life which is greater than it itself. We Jews, like butterflies, moved throughout our history around the world, flying from one region to another. We Jews, like butterflies, have multi-generational memory, spiritual information that is passed on to us with our mother's milk. As with monarchs, science doesn't know how this information is being transmitted, but it is obvious that we have a deeply seated multi-generational memory, and it allows us to be Jews today. If I call myself a Jew, it is only because each one of my ancestors on my mother's side passed on this multi-generational memory to their children. If even one of them had failed the system, I would not exist as a Jew today. And my life, like the life of a butterfly, is more than just a life of an individual. By passing on this memory, my ancestors relied on me to pass it on to my children. If I decide that I like a neighboring field better, I will let down hundreds of previous generations, starting with the first Jew, Abraham. Every time I come to a Torah class, I put on tefillin or a fixed mezuzah on my door. I'm actualizing this memory. When my children see me do this, or when I sit with them at our Shabbat table, or when I take them with me to a synagogue, I pass this memory on to them. We Jews are the most ancient existing people in the world today, and the Torah promises that we are an eternal people. This means that thousands of years later, this information will still be passed from father to son, from mother to daughter. Looking at butterflies, we can start thinking about how short life is. Or we can start thinking that my life could be part of eternity.